Hello, Blue Justin here. Still Justin, still not Blue. And today we're taking a little break from my steel books that I've been getting far too many of. Well, too many in the opinion of my bank balance. And I'm going to go back to my last birthday and what I got from that. This isn't in any way a show off, look at what rich friends I have. I don't. It's if you want, I just want to say thank you very much to all the people who paid out and gave me these, and I hope you like to see what I got. Usually a little bit different, even though I hand out a list, and I've got an online list of what titles I don't have and this, that and the other, to make sure I don't get duplicates. I do tend to get a slightly different selection than I'd normally choose for myself, because even though the list is obviously stuff that I want, people, especially my wife, if she's buying for me, does tend to choose, or they do tend to choose things that they wouldn't mind seeing, or my wife wouldn't mind seeing, so that we can watch them together. So there's a slightly different emphasis, I think. So starting very quickly with this one, because it's one you've seen before, because it was in one of my recent Steelbook announcements, and that is the German Warlock trilogy. Now, as you might have guessed, people are rather reluctant to start ordering steelbooks, especially foreign steelbooks, for my birthday. And in actual fact, this one is a birthday present, but it was bought with by me just after my birthday with money that I got for my birthday, and I make sure that I keep it separate to make sure that I get myself a proper present, rather than it gets lost in train fares and whatnot, blah blah blah. Got the pub, and well, not I got the pub anymore. So yeah, we've heard all about that and the tragic death of Julian Sands. Moving on quickly to a couple that I normally wouldn't be bringing up, because they are DVDs, not Blu-rays. The first of these is Rookie Blue, ironically enough, on DVD. This is the second season. I've got the first season. Luckily, I put the first season on my list, but luckily, because my wife got me the first season last time, she knew that that was a mistake, and was intelligent enough to go, oh, I've already bought him the first season, so I'll get him the second season. All about American police officers being through academy, finally hitting the streets. Lots of stuff about their personal lives as well, having to cope. So yeah, I believe it's a pretty good series. Haven't really got into it yet, had a chance. As happens, I'm catching up on a huge set of all of Bones at the moment. Just done seasons 5, 6 and 7. Recently started 8, so after that it'll be just 9, 10, 11 and 12 to go. Right, another DVD, and this one is called Domina. Yeah, I made notes, it's a miracle. But there is, basically I would have asked for a Blu-ray if there was a Blu-ray of this. This series is set in the Civil War following the death of Julius Caesar, and the golden girl of the family forced into exile, who comes back determined to regain everything that she lost. No morals, no qualms. and sort of reminds me of some of the description stuff of Rome and Spartacus, that sort of thing. Probably could have been even bigger. And it was interestingly, I thought, obviously I don't know how closely, but it was based on some of the mixture of true stories of women of Rome of that era. So yeah, that's good. This was another pickup from money I received. It made up the to the correct amount, and this one is Triple Cross, all about a safecracker in World War II who gets captured by the Germans, and not having a lot of being quite feckless, immediately turns around and goes, well, train me as a spy and I'll go and spy on the British for you. And they do, and so he goes back to Britain. But is he just out for himself or what? Because the second he gets there, he turns around to the British and says, I'll be a double agent for you. So is he really just out for himself, or is he, which side is he spying for? The idea for buying it I got from noticing on one of Kermit's videos, and I have been told that the transfer isn't that hot, but I haven't had a chance to see it myself yet. We should say. And talking of, I bought it for myself, and you can always tell when I do this because this is the anime of Witchblade. You can tell that I got this for myself because however many times I put anime on my list, nobody buys me anime because they don't get it and I enjoy it. So, or very rarely do I ever get any anime, and certainly not from my missus, who just does not get it at all. So she tends to concentrate on, oh, I'd like to watch that too. So quite sensibly. And so yeah, this is all about. This is going back to being much more based on the original manga, where a legendary weapon, the Witchblade, sort of like a forearm piece, I believe, it's where a woman tries to have a peaceful life in Tokyo, or with her daughter, or the person she believes is her daughter. I don't think that's too much of a giveaway because that's what it says on the description on the back of the Blu-ray. And obviously, but the Witchblade is out to kill, so nothing is going to stay nice and peaceful for her. What's interesting is the US turned this into a live action series. But when I say turned into, they stopped it being set in Tokyo with somebody trying to lead a peaceful life, and made it a New York City female police officer who had to try and control how much damage the Witchblade did when she used it to take down the criminals. Apparently it's actually one of the highest ranking blue series on US TV, but it got cancelled after only two seasons, and it only ever came out on DVD, and it got cancelled because the lead actress apparently was a major nightmare on set, despite the huge, very popular viewing figures. And as it happens, I picked up that DVD again. Like I said, it's not available on Blu-ray anywhere, and I got that more recently, since my birthday, but not with birthday money, so it doesn't appear in this list, but I just thought you might like to know. Coming up next, these are a couple of upgrades from DVD that I asked for. I don't normally try to concentrate on upgrades because I prefer to get something fresh, and I prefer that people who give me presents are happy that they gave me something fresh rather than, oh, you already got it. What's really the big difference? Well, obviously I know there's a big difference because Blu-rays are significantly clearer, even to my poor eyes, than DVD, but I don't like to take the mick too much. However, if I find some really good films and ones that well, good, I enjoy them, then I don't mind, and they're reasonable price, I'll put them on the list. And in this particular case, Overboard, which is a rather nice little romantic comedy about Goldie Hawn, who's a rich, spoiled brat who employs Kurt Russell's carpenter to do, not John Carpenter for Kurt Russell this time, he's working as a carpenter to make her some furniture, and then refuses to pay him, despite the fact he's done a fantastic job. This is all on her boat, and then she falls overboard, bangs her head, loses her memory. He rescues her, and to get her back, he essentially makes her work it off, looking after his house and his two children from sort of like a previous marriage, just two nightmare children from a previous marriage type of thing. Yeah, I dare say, I can't remember specifically, but I dare say she'll realise it'll all be a nice life lesson, and she'll get her memory back, but by then they've probably fallen in love. Not forgetting that, in actual fact, I think this was the film where Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn actually did meet on set for the first time and did fall in love, and after which they got married for a while. The next one is another upgrade, but this time I've done you all a huge favour and I'm claiming responsibility. I've had the DVD for ages, and I think it's a fantastic film, but never got around to upgrading it until asking for it now. So this is Al Pacino in Sea of Love, and the reason, of course, you owe me that lovely vote of thanks is because the second I got this is only a couple of weeks later, ago, the 4K of this was announced. Is it by Coral Media? Can't remember. And so if I want to stay up with keep up with the Joneses, I will have to replace the brand new Blu-ray, which makes me feel very guilty because I really don't like replacing gifts. It gives me a sort of like a icky feeling, but or upgrading even specifically. But I shall probably give this one a watch again, see how much I like it, whether it's worth upgrading to the 4K. Al Pacino gives a great performance, critically acclaimed, as a police officer who's investigating a series of murders, and one of the suspects is Ellen Barkin, looking absolutely beautiful in this role, who but it's got a touch of the Basic Instincts about it. And is she as they start to fall in love, is that clouding his judgment on whether she's a suspect still, and is she the murderer, that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching that sometime very soon. And another little upgrade, this time I haven't gone the whole hog, but this one's an upgrade from the Blu-ray and the Blu-ray set, because I got the trilogy and the Blu-ray set, but to go just the 4K of, in my opinion, by far the best one, of Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie Murphy is absolute prime in my opinion. Very, very funny as the aforementioned Beverly Hills Cop, who is used to dealing with the murky streets of, is it Chicago? Oh, Detroit, sorry. In a down and dirty type thing, and then gets sent to the very highfalutin type Los Angeles Police Department to help them out, and introduces the by the book cops that he's teamed up with, of course, to less than by the book methodologies that he's used to using, with hilarious but of course successful consequences. This isn't an upgrade, though it sort of looks like it. This is Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson. There is, annoyingly, weirdly, which way round is it? I don't want to get it wrong. This is the year 2000 update of the blaxploitation movies of the 70s with Richard Roundtree, and it was followed by a sequel. This one was in 2019, so quite a number of years between. Despite the fact there are so many years between, I think one follows on pretty directly from the other. And Shaft is still played by Samuel L. Jackson. They don't have CGI de-aging, so he just has to look the same. Yeah, I was saying, just the weird thing is, and the confusing thing is, the 2019 sequel to Shaft is called Shaft. No Shaft Part 2, or Shaft the Return, or Shaft the Revenge, or whatever, just Shaft. So I had to put a link in my list and specifically point out this was the one I wanted, because otherwise I can see people rebuying me the 2019 one I've already got. So I can't just put Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson in it. They're still got to do that. This isn't an upgrade either. This is a film called The Courier. I do have another film called The Courier, but that's a totally different film. This is a 2020 film based around a spy in a Cold War, sorting out or looking into the Cuban Missile Crisis, and starring Benedict Cumberbatch. The other film called The Courier it was released the year before, and was a thriller action piece with, let's get this right, I'm sorry I can't memorise things, with Gary Oldman. So yeah, well, actually that sounds interesting as well. I can't remember if I've got it. This one's only a 12, I dare say. If Gary Oldman's in a action thriller, that one would be highly. This one's got moderate violence, etc. A couple of hours long, almost, including a commentary. Sorry, I don't want to so much into the details on some of these, but anyway, yeah. So I like Benedict Cumberbatch, and this looks like a nice film that I don't know, and I quite like the MI6 Cold War type stuff. It sounds like a little bit more cerebral than some of the stuff that I like to watch, but without going into the depths of art house. And anyway, our next up is The Flash. This is season 8 of the TV series, in which there are 9 series, so it's the penultimate series. I've only seen the beginning of the series so far, but I had 1 to 7, and I've since picked up 9, so I can watch them all the way through in the Arrowverse when I have time. Well, my wife got to select watching Bones. They were both enjoying it. I might choose to watch all 9 series of The Flash next, though she's not a superhero movie, so I probably won't. It's a bit cruel. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed the bits I have seen of The Flash. I think he plays the part very well indeed. Enjoy the special effects and the usual. Sorry, just petered out there, didn't it? Next up, another gift. This one has Idris Elba in Beast. This stars Idris as a chap who's is he recently divorced or widowed? No, widowed. And he goes back to South Africa with his 2 daughters to get over the loss, and they find themselves out on the South African plains being hunted by a rogue lion, aka the Beast. And he has to obviously keep everybody safe, and the rogue lion is in the mood to prove that he's the apex predator in charge of this plane. We've got lots and lots of bonus features, no commentary, but lots and lots of featurettes. The detail one on the final battle. I'm suspecting that's not one to watch before you watch the film. Spoilers. Special one on the wounds to make it look real. Filming the territory, the family bond, and the casting, and the pride of the lion. I don't know how the details all the way down on that. Next one is, I think you might be surprised. It's a little unusual for what I would normally buy myself, but in actual fact, wife and I saw the trailer for this at the cinema quite a while back, and both quite liked it, but not enough to go and see it at the cinema when it actually came on. But it came to Blu-ray relatively quickly and dropped in price pretty darn quickly too, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing. That this is based on a best-selling book, and you can sort of tell that to a certain extent. I just don't think many filmmakers would make a film called Where the Crawdads Sing if there wasn't a book called Where the Crawdads Sing. They probably call it Girl in the Swamp or something. Anyway, this is about a girl who essentially brings herself up in the swamplands of, is it Carolina? North Carolina, yeah. And there's always been rumours of her in the swamplands, but she's rarely been spotted, just known as the Swamp Girl. And that's until she meets 2 the boys from the nearby town to where she is, and she gets interested in them. I'm presuming she's reaching the age of maturity at this point, so maybe hormones are kicking in. I don't know, I haven't seen it yet. But obviously she's still an outsider, so when one of the boys is found dead, she becomes the prime suspect, then it's a case of investigating the murder to prove whether or not she's actually different. No, they're going to investigate whether she's guilty or not. And as the case gets investigated, all sorts of things revealed about stuff that lays in the marsh and secrets that have been long hidden, etc., stuff like that. Apparently the book is called A Phenomenon. Apparently, I don't know how popular it was, but it's got there's a special featurette on adapting it. There's a music video they've done by the film by Taylor Swift. They've done a Creating the World. There's a deleted scenes. There's a featurette called Women in Focus. So all the people who dislike, I think the book was written by a woman, so it's obviously written from that perspective. Young girls growing up. So like we shall see. Sexual violence, domestic abuse, and BBFC, I believe, are getting tougher on that, on both of those subjects, especially especially recently after certain complaints about certain films getting through at a lower rating because it wasn't shown in detail, but they're trying to change attitudes towards both of the those subjects. What does that say? It specifically says on the back for what it's worth that it's regions B and C capable, which implies, if they've actually made the effort not to put A on there, that implies that it won't play in region A. So anyway, yes, Where the Crawdads Sing. My wife got me that one. Yes, she's interested in seeing. This is another one that I'm sure we'll watch together because we both enjoyed the series. Sorry for the little jump there. The phone went off and I had to let it ring out. I can't shut the door at the moment like I normally can because I've got a box of steel books awaiting filming in the way. This, as I was saying, this is another one that both my wife and I both enjoy the series very much, and so I put it on the list. I'm hoping it's going to go back to its, if not its heyday, then it's back to being at a really high level, and that is the latest Red Dwarf new release, Red Dwarf Promised Land. I'm not going to try and go into specifically the whole plot. I believe it might not follow on from previous. I think it might slip into between, from what I vaguely read somewhere, might slip into between series. So, but I don't want to read too much in case I find out about too much about the ending or the plot or whatever. It's obviously got extras. They've always got extras on the Red Dwarfs. It's usually good. One of them is called Just Featurettes, Promised Documentary. Through the audience's eyes. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be about. It's interesting sounding. And it's got deleted scenes and it's got outtakes, as almost all the Red Dwarfs do. Especially the original releases. Yeah, I think if you got them as the complete sets or whatever, then they dropped some of those extras. But if you got the individual releases, certainly on DVD, then that's what you got. Now, this is a Dave release, and the bonus features go on for 55 minutes. And how long is it? Does it say? It probably does, but can I find it? No. Oh, it must be film length because it's almost 1.5 hours exactly. This one, I think my wife got me very, very kindly, because I suspect she's not going to be particularly in the mood for watching it. But I did put it down as something that I've been after for quite some time. I think it's from, could have been just from, could be from another friend. And I've been after it, like I said, interested in it for some time, but I saw the price going down and I thought, if I put that on my birthday list, it'll be something that's so that people can afford. I tried to do obviously a mix of items at different prices. I can't just put a whole list of Blu-rays and 4Ks on there that all cost about 35-40 quid or something. That's just absolutely ridiculous to expect from or even ask from friends, things like that. So I try to give a decent variety, and this one is singular, so just checking, Blade of the 47 Ronin. Now 47 Ronin is relatively well-known film. I have it. This, I believe, is the, this is a sequel. It's set many, many years later in the modern day. I have no idea how good it is, that's right, and how closely it relates to the original, but the original was set in feudal Japan. This is set in modern day New York. As long as they don't run into John Wick, we're okay, because they'll be full of assassins. These have, I believe, not that it says anywhere, but I believe that they are now acting as a secret underground society, rather than being samurai in public. And this is all to do with someone who's out to take revenge on them, because they're a descendant of this is a witch who was slain by one of the original 47 Ronin. Oh, Ronin, it's not samurai. God, sorry, I do beg your pardon. No wonder I'm confused and you're confused. And it just says that the witch seeks to completely destroy all samurai, you see, which is very confusing, because it's called about Ronin, who are rogue samurai. And there's a prophecy that claims only a descendant of the original 47 samurai can wield something that can kill her. So here comes lots of martial arts combat versus the witch's mystical energy, and action will therefore ensue with strong bloody violence and language. But as it's a Dazzler Media release, then I don't think there are any extras on it. It's just got some half time with Dazzler. You're lucky if you get subtitles. But it does have 5.1 DTS HD master audio. And this one, I know my wife did get me, though I don't know how interested she's going to be, and I know that it might not have the 100% best of reputations, but I'm still interested in seeing it. So yeah, and it's usually only my wife who picks up 4Ks for me rather than Blu-rays or DVDs. So this is the 4K of 65. Yep, 65 million years ago, Adam Driver crash lands on planet Earth, looking like a human, but presumably not from Earth, because it's 65 million years ago, and I don't think it's a time travel. Film, and he lands there with his daughter, and they has to survive the dinosaurs. I don't know how they think they're going to escape. It's produced by Sam Raimi, which should be fun. I believe that there aren't lots of criticism of there not being enough pictures, of not being enough scenes with dinosaurs in, and too much of the was it After Earth, Will Smith and Jaden Smith, yeah, type thing of them just being together as a family. But if you actually check, not that I'm comparing the two, but if you actually check the amount of time that dinosaurs appeared in the original Jurassic Park movie, it's actually very small time on screen, so I'm not necessarily going to mark it down because of that. However, I'm not saying it's going to be as good as Jurassic Park, because I just don't think it is, because Jurassic Park is brilliant. Anyway, it's got various featurettes, which are on the Blu-ray disc. Things like Creating the World, Primordial Planet, the Final Showdown concepts to screen. And again, I won't be watching that before watching the film. Spoilers. And some deleted and extended scenes. Very, very nice indeed. 4K does have an Atmos track based on True HD 7.1 in this case, as its underlying format. And the Blu-ray has DTS HD master audio. Anyway, and that is it for my birthday haul 2023. I hope you enjoyed watching those, and I certainly enjoyed receiving them, and I shall enjoy watching them when I have time. I do hope to be back relatively soon with the next part of my Steelbook hauls, which seems to be increasing day by day. So increasing the number I'm going to have to do to actually reach the end. But I'm enjoying doing them for you, so that's not a problem. And anyway, please keep on enjoying the stuff that you're watching, the cinema, the TV, all the physical media you're watching, and keep on looking after yourselves. Cheers.